Morning, everyone. It's Friday, October 10th. This channel is A Theory of Nothing. I am the host, Scott Schaefer. Welcome to my channel. I want to ask you guys a question. As of maybe the last 2-3 weeks, have any of you, for seemingly no reason whatsoever, just been getting being in the human space, just being in the human space, like getting angry and pissed off or upset over trivial bullshit? Let me know in the comment section below. I ask this because it just seems, for me, and my wife kind of snapped me out of it yesterday, really, that I have been just an asshole, just a real jackass to her for the last 2-3 weeks, and not even wasn't even aware of it. When she talked to me about it the other day, I said, "Well, it's not you. I'm just frustrated and irritated with work." She's like, "Well, yeah, but you're taking it out on me too." And I kind of blew it off, and then I just apparently kept doing it. And yesterday it reached a head, and she was upset about it, and rightfully so, put me in my place like I've asked her to do before when I get to that point. And I brought it up to her again, and I apologized to her again, and I said, again, if I do that, if I slip, if I go through this phase out back into human self, slap the shit out of me and wake me up out of it. Metaphorically, of course, or physically. And she said, okay. Then after I got done texting with her about that, I happened to be at work, and something at work happened, and it just chapped my ass, and I got all just pissed off and bent out of shape. Now, I didn't take out any anger on her when I got home last night, because I pulled myself out of my work environment like 100%. What I did notice is that in the last 2 weeks, the only thing that I can equate to it is that I had a side project from work that I had brought home. And I think it was keeping my head in that space, whether I was on project working on it or whether that task was just in my environment in my house. That for whatever reason, work headspace was brought home with me. Now, I used to really, way back in the day, man, I used to really like what I did. The type of work I did. Then I got to the point where I didn't care about it, and it was just a job. But I didn't change jobs. I stuck around with it because I started making more money. And then I liked it again, and then hated it. Got more money, liked it, hated it. Got more money. But now I go through these phases where I'm landlocked financially at work. And I've been, for probably the last 6 to 12 months, off and on, going through these phases of just frustrated, irritated, and kind of hating that work environment. Now, it ain't the type of work that I do. It is wholeheartedly the people around me. Now, what's sad about all this is that the people around me are good people, personality-wise. The owner of the company sometimes is questionable just because of his type of personality, being so A-type, and I'm kind of an A-type, and we kind of will butt heads on some things, but I can respect that at least sometimes. But it's not even that. It's not, even with him, it's not having an A-type personality or a B-type or C-type or whatever the stupid-ass designations are that psychologists give it. It is the intellectual and experiential? Yeah, that's a new word. You're welcome to use it. The experienced I can't even think of the word right now. It's escaping me. But the experience level, the innate background, retained knowledge of our business and what we do. It seems like there's maybe one person in the whole company that has half an assed mind about what he's doing. Now, this is going to seem like a point of arrogance on my part. And trust me, I'm not super genius, and I don't know everything there is to know. And there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons about our industry and about our market that I do not know. And I research or I ask questions about a lot of times. But within our company and our customer base and everything else, I just get pissed off on almost a daily basis on the stupidity that is splayed in front of me. Like rehashing the same errors from the same people over and over again. Getting asked the same questions from the same people over and over again. People going in and screwing up the whole database system, the whole system database that I organize, and then I reorganize, and then I reorganize again as part of my job when I have time. And then it gets screwed up because people start copying and pasting and putting shit other places, and then their stuff is old and obsolete, and then they're trying to ask me to update stuff, and I do, and then their stuff never gets updated. And it just seems like I'm working in an environment with a bunch of individuals who took or take stupid pills all day long. Like, they cannot retain knowledge. When I educate them and I explain it to them, it's maybe they just don't give a shit about it. Maybe they don't have the heart to be involved in the business, and it's just a job to them. I don't know. Well, they'll ask me questions like they want to know, and then I'll explain to them over and over and over again, and then it just seems like I'm talking to a goddamn light post. And it's frustrating, and it's irritating. And, I didn't want to necessarily just do a video about ranting, because you guys know I normally do Mandela effect, but I think this is relevant to the Mandela effect. To a degree. Now, before the awareness of the Mandela effect, I had gone through the same type of stuff with people that had worked for me. The same type of attitudes and things like that, but we didn't have so much people in the front office. It was mostly in the shop environment. And, back in the day, we were equating it to just people being laziness, and it's just a damn job. And what are you going to do? Workers in general are worker bees or worker ants. They're just going through life. But it hinges on the Mandela effect and my awareness as being more of a front leader, more thinking outside the box, more interested in learning and educating myself about my environment and what I do. And, I've grown through levels and financial gains because of that, even though I've kind of maxed out. And this company is almost too small for me for being in that position. But I make so much money to where if I left this company, I would have probably a hard time earning that same amount of money at another company because of having to reset and things like that. Plus, I know a lot of people at a lot of other companies right now that are big companies that have the exact same issues. all the way through the whole thing. And it's funny because they're sitting there telling me that they're frustrated and irritated with the people around there, and then I talk to them and they're stupid themselves. And yes, I am being very insulting when I say stupid, because stupid is as stupid does, right? Just like the old Forrest Gump thing. And that's how it feels, and that's what it seems like. It's just, it's so frustrating and irritating. You know, and that's kind of one of the things with my wife, I think, why I was kind of getting irritated with her at home. And she wasn't meaning to do it, and she truly didn't have any knowledge about stuff. But she would ask me questions, and I don't think she realized she was doing it. She would ask me a question, and it was kind of not about work, but it was in line with something so stupid, simple as like Facebook. That's just because she didn't understand it. And it wasn't that she was asking me how to do something. It was that she was like freaking out about something going on, and she didn't know how to do it, and she was in panic mode. And for me, panic is kind of a symptom of not using your intellect, your conscious intellect that you have, to be rational, to pause yourself, to get the knowledge, and to educate yourself and to learn it, right? To elevate your conscious. By no means is my wife dumb, and I do not think she's stupid. I don't think she's dumb at all. I love her more than life itself. She is a part of me. We are a part of each other. And we go through our own stupid human shit, like a lot of people do. But in general, I would have never, ever gotten irritated with her about asking me questions. Like, it's not, she doesn't understand something, even if she freaks out about it, you know, I'll try to do my best to explain it to her, and if she just doesn't can't keep understanding, I'll just say, then stop. Just don't do that anymore. Not because you don't understand, because you're not wanting to learn it, or you don't think you can learn it, so you're not learning it, and it's causing you a point of frustration and irritation. And that's what it took me a while to think of that. That's like, you know, what I was getting irritated at her about wasn't the stupid like I'm getting at work. It was her angst, her frustration, her irritation, her panic position. It was instantly throwing me into kind of a very defensive type of, like a honey badger, right? In a defensive, then an aggressive attack position. I apologize to her for doing it, because I didn't want to do that to her. I don't want to do that to her. That's not what I'm about. I'm typically an educator, or a conversationalist when it comes to working things out and trying to understand things and gain knowledge. Now, there's just some things I just don't care about. And normally I have a very easy temperament to listen to that, and you know, someone can drone on about something that I just don't care about, and I'll just listen to them with a smile on my face. But in the last few weeks, I've been completely intolerant of that stuff. With her, with friends, with all sorts of stuff. So anyhow, I think it came to kind of a head yesterday for me. The side project that there's more to do on it, but I pushed it over to another guy who's in office to work on it. And I did not bring it home last night. And for the most part, I was really calm, I think. Now, my wife, after she watches this video, may have a difference of opinion about that. We can talk about it then. But it wasn't a fix. It was just the beginning stages of the healing process for myself. And that, I feel broken right now, like because of all this. I feel like I'm being in body, right? Even though at this point, being Mandela affected and aware, we should be out of body. We should be more than the summation of the flesh suit that we're walking around in. If we have any rational sense to us, we know that. We know that we are a conscious creature, that this is merely a containment suit that is in which we reside right now. Doesn't matter what the physical form is, doesn't matter what the physical form looks like, all that kind of business. We are the intellect within, not the summation of without. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Now, on a second note, one of the things, and I think this is kind of in line with it too, is, I went through like a weight loss a couple years ago, lost like over 100 pounds, and I've been gaining back weight here in the last year now, steadily, and I've just been feeling like crap, and it seems like I'm going through my cyclical rates where I gain a little bit, lose a little bit, gain a little bit more, then lose a little bit, and gain a little bit more. So it's like a really, really slow increment up, but that's how we got big in the first place. Any of us were larger people. But what I've noticed is that when I eat, no matter how little or how much, I always still feel hungry when I'm done, yet I feel nauseous. Like I'm disgusted. Like it tastes good when you're eating it, but then the feeling I get after eating it is like, like I want to throw up. Like I have this pit. It feels like I have like a avocado seed, right? Like stuck right in the upper part down here, above your stomach, like at the lower base of your esophagus channel, or like I just swallowed a balloon and then it got inflated in my stomach. And then I'll feel that way all the way through till I'm like hungry again, but I'm still feeling like this bloated, odd feeling, and I think that's adding to my irritation too. And so I think what I'm gonna try to do it is I want to try to just do a 7-day, maybe, I don't know. I'll see how long I can go on it, but I'm gonna do a cleanse. I'm gonna get rid of food, scale back to just drinking water for a while, and get the toxins and flush all the crap out of my body, and see how that makes me feel. And then read, like a lot of the, if you watch any of the videos on 7-day water cleanses and stuff like that. And again, I don't condone anyone to do this. I'm not propagating you to do this, and I'm not going to suggest how you should or shouldn't do it. There's tons and tons of videos out there. There's medical channels you can check up on and everything else, but I've only ever heard of maybe 1 or 2 people that ever had an issue. The thing with doing a cleanse, like a 7-day water cleanse, like a watershed cleanse, is, yes, you're starving your body of nutrients for 5 to 7 days, 3 to 7 days, and there's all variations of time. But the body, the human body, it retains all this fat tissue for the whole purpose is starvation events, just like bears do in the wintertime when they go into hibernation, just like most animals do. They'll eat, they gain fat, and then they can go for really, really long periods of time without food. Now, sure, you feel hungry, you feel starved for maybe the first day or two, but then after that and the jitters kind of go away, you'll balance out. Now, if you're diabetic or anything like that, you can be really, really careful of doing things like this, only because it can cause your blood sugar to go into a tailspin and, screw everything up. And diabetes can kill you, I guess. Now, I was 300 pounds, believe it or not, for over a decade. Actually, probably close to 2 decades. And when I finally got sick of it and finally lost weight, I tried like several programs over and over again and couldn't lose. Finally did this one, and it was a food restricted diet, but I was eating 3 meals a day, all steak and broccoli, tomatoes, and then drinking nothing but water. And I did that for a year, and I lost 100 pounds. Felt great. And then, of course, got off of that, started eating things again, reintegrating. But it just, ever since I started reintegrating food, I've just not felt right. And food and alcohol and everything else. I like to drink, but I just don't feel right. My body feels like it's out of balance, and that may be what's causing these massive roller coaster effects going on with me, with my conscious, with my awareness, with being in physical body versus without. So I'm gonna start out by doing this cleanse out, try to rebalance the physical system a little bit, and I'll keep you guys updated as that goes on. Yeah, outside of that, we need to try to not be of self, physical self, and be aware of conscious, and be of conscious, and to not let the things within this Orion belt or the Sagittarius belt or whatever belt we go through get to us. And even though CERN may be behind all this, yes, and I dredge on about CERN and their hand, and I think in this massive shift from Sagittarius arm to Orion arm, well, I think they are culpable for that mega shift. I think, again, like I said in the last video, and I've said in plenty of videos before, is we've always shifted. We always will be shifting. It's just a matter of whether we're shifting to microcosmic variations or macrocosmic variations. Macro being from Sagittarius arm to Orion arm, giant shift induced by something in the physical space that's screwed with our subatomic particles, being our conscious, vibrating energy, right? And then in general, we just shift through this simulation, through this program, through this whatever it is. On the minute, perhaps, the daily, the hourly, the whenever something needs to do that. So, I don't know. Anyhow, thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe, share. Please pass it along. Please let everyone you know about my channel and my videos, so I can build up subscriber base. YouTube's banned people like me from trying to do live shows unless you got over 1,000 subs, and I'm not even to 100 yet. So, I'd like to at least crack that 1,000 subscriber mark. I just don't know how to go about doing that without injecting God into everything that I do, because it always seems like with everyone's channel that either they talk about something so stupid like a Pokemon or automobiles, or something that's more mainstream than this, right? This is kind of more fringe topic base. But it seems like anyone within this fringe topic base that they go from no subs to 1,000 subs within a few weeks span, and they are all about relating the whole Mandela effect to God. And it seems like that's the way to lie your way. And maybe they're not lying, but for me it feels like they're lying their way into subscription base. I don't want to do that. I want to go down that road. So, maybe the creative force is trying to reconnect with my conscious. Maybe there's some sort of a disconnect going on there, and the physical vessel and everything else, and it's just causing issues. I noticed too, and I was getting ready to let you guys go, but I've noticed too that lately we've had financial issues. And I know why. I know our spending, and I see the spending habits, but it's like we could do a lot of the same things and have a lot of the same fun and not be spending so much money. And part of that is just the sheer debauchery of stupidity, I guess. I don't know. The way in which we're doing it. So, and that's happening, I know, because I'm out of balance, right? I know I can rebalance myself and retake control and the ship will upright itself, right? Right now it's like leaning over. It's like, feels like it's sinking. It won't sink. It just may go upside down and turn itself into like a submarine floating on the surface, right? But it still stays balanced, right? It's just a matter of whether you're facing up or you're facing down in the water. And the world is always down in the water. Everything around us, the NPCs, the cities we live in, the vehicles we drive, all this stuff is underwater. And we need to be above water. We need to be elevated. We need to be higher conscious. We need to be breathing in the fresh air, seeing the world around us and trying to understand it from an esoteric level as to what this is. Because I think that's the only way we're going to get the answers about what this is esoterically. When we can take ourselves into that space and connect with Creator. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, what you guys feel, if any of you guys have been going through anything like this, if this resonates with you, if it helps you, anything. Let me know you're out there. And like I said, like, subscribe, share it along, pass on my video. You are welcome to post and repost my video. Free use. So if YouTube tries to say no, you can't do it, I'm going to tell you yes, you can. I'm giving you permission to do so. Cut and splice, just don't put words in my mouth. That's fine too. Anyways, until the next one, be safe, be enlightened, and take care. Take care of yourself. We may not have chosen to be in this physical vessel, but we are in it nevertheless. So listen to it, work with it, and harmonize yourself. That's what I'm going to try to get back to doing. And I will keep you guys updated as to my progress. And I'm hopeful. Thank you for watching Theory of Nothing. I've been your host, Scott Schaefer.